Well, to absolutely nobody's surprise, I'm back again with yet another No Fluff analysis, and this time I'll be talking about the Clawful Caper Summon Showcase with the, it's a New Year Zodiac banner, essentially. This showcase started on the 31st of December 2019, UTC, and will last until the 14th of January 2020. Let's get straight to it with the first unit in the showcase, the 5-star Light Dagger Mitsuhide, the leader of the Mouse Clan. Mitsuhide's first skill is Mouse's Revenge, dealing damage to a target and nearby enemies, inflicting paralysis. Mitsuhide's second skill is Calamity Drop, dealing damage to a target and nearby enemies, increasing Mitsuhide's attack rate by 10% for 10 seconds, and dealing additional damage scaling with combo count. This bonus damage caps at 30 hits or higher. Being a dagger unit, Mitsuhide has the standard critical rate ability. Her other abilities are Flurry Strength, granting her plus 20% strength at combo 15 or higher, Curse Resist, and Paralyzed Punisher, granting her an extra plus 30% damage to paralyzed enemies. Mitsuhide looks to fill a similar niche to Fleur, but at a glance seems to lack the additional features inherent with skill shift that Fleur has. Her skills, however, do charge faster than Fleur's, but without one skill being recharged by another. Mitsuhide overall looks to be slightly simpler to play, reminding me of when Addis was replaced by Victor in the meta for High Mercury. As of the time I was putting my notes together, the wiki was lacking the sort of data mining for Mitsuhide's damage scaling percentages and so on, so my overall analysis is going to be somewhat lacking and overall impressions on her effectiveness are going to be somewhat limited. If you already have a developed Fleur, Mitsuhide will probably not be a compelling replacement to pull, or barring some subjective preferences. Current community sentiment, namely sort of Reddit discussions that I've been happening on Mitsuhide seem to suggest that Mitsuhide applies paralysis less consistently than Fleur does, but has more consistent DPS over the course of a fight, rather than the spikes that Fleur has with her skill resets. However, both units fulfill the same role, and to a similar effectiveness. In terms of Wyrmprints that you'd put on Mitsuhide, I would suggest Twinfold Bonds and Spirit of the Season, being prints for dagger units and, anyone inflicting paralysis. The second unit added with this showcase is the 5-star Fire Blade, Nobunaga, the leader of the Horse Clan. Nobunaga's first skill is Dream Offensive, dealing damage to enemies in a line and applying Burning Ambition. Enemies take damage when Burning Ambition ends, but it does not stack and cannot be reapplied while it is active. Nobunaga's second skill is Flash of Unity, dealing damage to enemies ahead and also dispelling a buff from each target hit. Being a blade unit, Nobunaga has the standard Strength ability. Nobunaga also has Flurry Strength, Sleep Resist, and Nobunaga's third ability is World's Dream. When the combo count is 15 or higher, Nobunaga gains the ability to dispel buffs with 4 strikes. For the purposes of buff dispelling, Burning Ambition counts as a buff, so S2 and 4 strikes can instantly activate the damage if available. I happened upon a video posted on Reddit of users soloing Vault with both Reina and Nobunaga side by side. Their overall damage seems to be comparable, but Reina's reliance on burn for her skills means that in a burn heavy composition, Nobunaga with a copy of Elegant Escort, that is the Burn Punisher print, could potentially outperform Reina depending on how quickly the boss's resistance to burn scales up through the fight. And for enemies that resist burn entirely, Reina's Empowered Skill 1 will not activate, tipping the scales in Nobunaga's favour. However, keep in mind that Volk's status resistances can be reduced by inflicting him with Plague. Overall, Nobunaga seems to be somewhat equal in terms of power with Reina, but with fewer requirements to reach optimal rotations and play. In terms of Wyrmprints, I would suggest Resounding Rendition paired with Flash of Genius, since Nobunaga's playstyle already revolves around combo count. However, on burn composition teams, a copy of Elegant Escort could be substituted in. The 5-star dragon added with this summon showcase is Daikokuten, the Exalted Mouse. Daikokuten grants light units plus 55% strength and an additional 25% strength when the combo count is 15 or higher. Daikokuten's skill is Lucky Mallet. dealing damage to enemies ahead, and also creating a buff zone for 10 seconds that increases the attack rate of adventurers inside. With decent play and being able to maintain a combo, Daikokuten should outperform Cupid in terms of personal DPS. Creating a buff zone also helps improve team DPS due to faster attacks and faster skill charging from the increased attack speed. Overall, dragons aren't as obviously impactful in terms of playstyle, but the slight upgrade / alternative to Cupid is a welcome introduction. However, due to the combo requirement, I would probably keep using Cupid on characters that don't build combo as quickly, namely swords, axes, lances, and blades. The 4-star unit added on the showcase, and completely unmentioned by Cygames in any of their news, is the 4-star light wand Chitose, Cuteness Incarnate. Chitose's first skill is Love and Acclaim, which increases the strength of light adventurers on the team by 25% for 15 seconds when it is fully leveled up. Chitose's second skill is Radical Radiance, granting all teammates a shield for 30% of his maximum hit points. Being a wand unit, Chitose has the standard skill damage co-ability. The first of Chitose's other abilities is Love's Shield, granting Chitose a shield for 20% of his maximum hit points whenever he uses his first skill, Love and Acclaim. Chitose also has Curse Resist, and his last ability is Defensive Stance. Chitose has 10% less strength in a quest, but in exchange receives 20% increased defense. Overall, Chitose is the Light Element's new buffer unit. The strength buff puts Chitose solidly in the top 5 for team DPS in simulations, and I could foresee Chitose possibly being a suitable stand-in for a Yuden in High Zodiac. Chitose's reduced offensive stats and lack of offensive skills make him a pretty solid support unit, and I can't imagine there being much else to say. For Wyrmprints, I would suggest a copy of the new print, A Game of Cat and Ball, with a buff time ability, and then another print of your choice, preferably one for skill haste. The simulation I've been looking at suggests Heralds of Hanabusa, which also has skill damage, which, looking at it, I believe suggests that the simulation has Chitose using a high dragon staff. Along with the event added with alongside the showcase, we have the 4-star Welfare Light Blade Hanabusa, the Hinamotoan Dancer. Hanabusa's first skill is Dance of Blades, which deals damage to enemies ahead and activates the Dragon Dance buff. Connecting with Dance of Blades while Dragon Dance is active will replace it with Tiger Dance. Connecting while Tiger Dance is active will remove the buff. The Dragon and Tiger Dance buffs will empower Hanabusa's skills while active, but will not empower skills that come from a weapon. Hanabusa's second skill is Dance of Rhapsody, which increases the team's strength by 15% for 15 seconds. Being a blade unit, Hanabusa has the standard strength co-ability. His other abilities are Therian's Bane, Curse Resist at a maximum of 50%, and his third ability is Frenzied Dance. The Dance of Rhapsody gains a 20 or 40% duration bonus when Dragon and Tiger Dance are active respectively. In terms of overall contribution to team DPS, Hanabusa is roughly middle of the pack for the light element. He has a minor buff on his second skill, but otherwise does not do huge amounts of damage himself. For Wyrmprints, the simulation suggests that you pair him with Resounding Rendition and Jewels of the Sun. He's not a bad welfare character by any means, but I believe only the most devoted of players would probably bring Hanabusa to endgame content such as High Zodiac or possibly the light element Agito in the future. As a buffer unit though, Hanabusa could be very usable as an AI unit in the Mercurial Gauntlet. The dragon added with the event is the 5-star Welfare Shadow Dragon Ebisu, the Sunbathing Feline. He grants shadow units plus 40% hit points, and his skill is Taiyaki Time, healing the user and granting regen for 15 seconds. Overall, I think Ebisu is very much a budget option for healers, shadow healers essentially, but you probably wouldn't want to transform using Ebisu, as the skill Taiyaki Time is a purely selfish regen. Do keep in mind that while transformed as a dragon, you can't charge your skills with your standard attacks, so healers will lag. overall skill charge, and thus their healing output for the rest of the team will decrease. Overall, Welfare Dragons. This one's fairly disappointing, I suppose, but if you don't have any other hit point granting dragon like Silka and Nidhogg, who are the mixed bonus shadow dragons, then I suppose Ebisu would be okay for your healers. Anyway, also added alongside the showcase, but not part of the showcase itself, thankfully, we have the Wyrmprints. The Wyrmprints added with this showcase are the first one is the 5-star print, the Worm Clan Duo, granting skill damage plus 30% and plus 17% to the critical damage modifier when your hit points are 70% or above. Critical damage modifier prints seem fairly mediocre, but I'll grab a copy of this print anyway, for completion's sake. This print could potentially be used for some Dagger and Axe units due to their innate benefits with crit, but there are probably better suited prints overall. One of the 4-star prints added is a New Year's Battle, granting Flurry Devastation and plus strength when your hit points are 70% or above. This can be a fairly good budget print for units that can take advantage of Flurry Devastation, but it would likely take a fairly specialist setup for this print to be considered a best in slot. Still, I think it's very usable for Dagger, Wand and Bow units. The other 4-star print added with this showcase is a game of cat and ball, granting Shadow Resist and light units extra buff time. I mentioned this print when going over Chitose, but this will likely be the print of choice for Chitose. I could also see this being used by Xiaolei with her crit buffs. In terms of older content added with this showcase, we have, older content that was rate up for this showcase, we have the 5-star Shadow Blade Ieyasu, 4-star Wind Blade Addis, 4-star Shadow Axe Sazanka, the 5-star Shadow Dragon Marishiten, and then Unicorn, the 4-star Light Dragon that grants a hit point bonus. So limited showcase. I've already uploaded the poll video that I did for this because it was, slightly difficult. I had to record that at 4 AM after, the good old New Year's celebrations and so on. But yeah, pull on it for limited units, pull on it for Ieyasu if you really want to, he's had the Mana Spiral introduced recently. Let's see, Mitsuhide and Nobunaga don't exactly, break the meta in any way. They seem to be very much like alternatives to existing units such as Fleur and Reina. But overall, yeah. I'm not your boss, I can't tell you what to do. I polled on this because, frankly, I'm a sucker for limited units. But this time around, no. It's not like when Ieyasu was first introduced, ended up being crazy damage because of bleed. There's no meta-breaking thing going on here. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, and I wish you luck in your upcoming polls.